He had 1 week to gather every information he need, and month later, he want Tang's family out of Suzhou. We hear someone sneezing, Tang think. Who the hell is cursing him again? He turned to the system and asked for his reward for completing the plot. System thanked him for successful survived the second plot, and he received an immunity to poison as a reward by system, Tang think. This reward is pretty good, as it'll help to deal with Yi Chen, who knows medicine and he also skilled with poison. He think his chance of surviving until the end has just increased by him. Suddenly Yi Shui enters there and tried to stop Tang. Tang think by seeing her, why was she blocking his way? He knows she had a crush on him, but it's not good for them, because he the man she can never have. By hearing to his thoughts, Yi Shu think, can never have. And she determined to get him. She, keeping her hand on her face, asked Tang, can't she even chat with him? Do we hate her that much? Tang replies her formality by saying, as she know the answer, and why again she asking that question to him? He think, if he don't hate her, he must be asking for his beating, he think. They are not meant to be together. And asked her to not to make any trouble, as she don't get his body back then, and she have no chance now. She replies him, she won't force him anymore. And she pointed her index finger towards Chen and asked, who let him in? Tang turned his head to see if it's really Chen and see there is no one. Yi Shu sneaks in front of Tang, holding her mobile phone in her hand and took his video, and she asked Tang why he was like this. Tang gets frustrated by her and think, is she still the female lead? Is this what a person would do? As she recorded a video, he think. He's dead if that fool Yi Chen sees it, and won't he kill him, he think. 1 night as a couple, 100 days of grace. Even though they never did it, they still each other's first love. And there should be at least 10 days of grace. How could she set him up like this? By hearing to his thoughts, Yi Shu asked Tang, how did she set him up, and ask him, would a girl like her actively let him take advantage? He got annoyed by her and asked her to delete that video and name her price. Tang, with angry looks, think he's a rich villain now and he can solve this problem with money. She replies him, as she had plenty of money in her home, and she don't really need it as an extremely intelligent business genius. After listening for a while, Wang Yi Shu completely understood. The world she's in is a novel world according to the original plot. Tang Yu is the villain, and she's part of Yi Chen's harem, she think. If she get the chance, Yi Chen won't leave Suzhou alive. He asked her formality to stop causing trouble and delete that video, as she has to not blame him for touring hostile. He think, what does she want other than money, he think. Does want his charming body. She said him, if he turn hostile, she'll post his video on social media. By hearing to her words, Tang got irritated by her and demand, does this make any sense to her, as she think he won't hit a woman, and says her, if his fist hits someone as cute as her, she'll cry for a long time, and asked her to quickly delete that video. Yi Shu asks him to hit her, as she want to see where he'll hit her. Tang asked her to stop dragging and asks her, what is want? She answered him to come to her room. Tang immediately answered her. He can't do that, she says to Tang, not to force her, and asked him to come to her room. He been silent and think, it's fine, as it's just entering the room is better than having the video posted, he think. If she tries something, he'll defend his purity to the death. As a villain, how can he let female lead pooch him? He enters into Yi Shui's room and see her clothes scattered around the room. By seeing this, he think, this woman's room is too messy, and stuff is thrown everywhere. And asked Yi Shu why her room was so messy. Can't she get someone to clean it? He think. Even dogs at his home hate him, and it's very hard to provoke a proud beauty into hating him, she replies him, as she just brought someone to clean them. Tang gets shocked by hearing her words and asked her, do we had to clean her room? She asked him to hurry up, as someone would love the chance to clean her room, as he had helped her clean several times in college. Tang replies her, it's fine, and he will do it, he think. Cleaning the room is better than doing other things. And what if he get infected by her clothes? By hearing to his thoughts, she gets frustrated and think, she don't have athlete's foot. After some time while Tang cleaning her room, she asked him, after they broke up, beside being a simp for Su Muyu, Did he interact with other girls? He reply her, as he is not Sumoi's simp, as it was just acting to make it easier to mess around with other girls, and tells her, to be honest, he had 4 girlfriends now. He immediately think, these years he've been too busy simping to even touch a girl's hand. By hearing to his inner thoughts, she think he was two-faced guy and called him scumbag. By hearing her words, Tang think she really fed up with him, and he need to think a way to provoke her more, make her angry enough to kick him out. He goes near to take her bra and think he'll act like a pervert. He don't believe she won't be disgusted by him. By catching her bra in his hand, asked her taste was poor, and asked her, does he need to pick some clothes for herself? By seeing this, she smiled and immediately took photo of him. He got shocked by this. She replies him. She accidentally took a photo just to capture the crime record and ask, how can a girl like her handle this? By hear to this, he got frightened by this and asked her, why isn't she following the script, and asks her why she used her phone to take his picture. As normally, she would have called him pervert and told him to get lost. She by smiling, says him, an ex-boyfriend harassed by her. If this get out, she'll be in trouble, he think. This is not something the original Wang Yishui would do, he says to her. He was just kidding and asks her, don't be like this. She with mysterious smile on her face. Think that with this evidence, he will have to listen to her in future, and he can't escape from her. She asks him, let talk about business, and says him, she's planning to invest in new energy. She asked, what does he think? He thought, was now finally on the right track and think, even though Yi Chen is a fool, it doesn't hurt to play matchmaker for him today, as he was the first villain to repay evil with good, he said her. As it is a best investment direction, he says her, she should get involved in new energy by believing herself. This project will definitely make a lot of money from cooperation. The premise is that there is no problem with the object, but at that same time he think it's a false company is a scam. When the project fails, Ye Chen will step in to charm her, she says him. Since he think it's good, she won't worry, but she's still hesitating, as the partner she was looking at is the French Fails company. But she feel it's unreliable, he says her. She was overthinking, and he had dealt with this company before. They're very strong in new energy search, and partnering with them for the latest technology will be very profitable. He also think her intuition were a bit sharp. Even the company was fail as Yu Chen will cover it up, and their company's fraud and tax evasion will be exposed soon. They're a scam, she think while laughing. She completely understand how to handle Tang Yu now, as it's like having a remote control. Just press the button and he reacts. She says him, since he was sure she'll invest, but she think to let Rulong handle the project and ask, does he capable of this? Tang replies her, Rulong is the smartest person in Suzhou. With his talent, he'll definitely handle it well. And at the same time he think everything was back to normal. Let Rulong handle this mess, he think. If she don't let Rulong, how can he cover up the project's problems? Hers Vice President Li is in cahoots with Rulong, and he took a billion bride to help with the cover-up. By hearing to his thoughts, she think, Vice President Li, he's been pushing for this new energy project and talked to her several times, saying it would support their family business for 20 years. He replies her, he cleaned everything. She asked him to leave. He by seeing her and think, did she delete the videos and photos of him? She asked him why he was looking at her like that. The photos and videos are already deleted, and says him if he don't believe her, he can check it himself. Tang, by laughing, says her, she must delete them. He absolutely won't allow someone like him to have her reputation ruined by a scumbag like him. He goes out of her room and sees he had finally escaped Yi Shui's clutches. He, by going out of Wang's house, rejoices happily and think, after a whole day of his hard work, he had finally put the plot back on track. Scene shift to Donghai Group. Muyue sat her the table, seeing some documents. She asked the person, why haven't she left work yet? We see a woman with black suit, says Muyue. She didn't hear a knock, so she thought it was still early. She sees, as usual at this time, to leave work. The eldest young master of the Tang family would come and knock on the door to pick President Su for dinner for 3 whole years. As long as they didn't have a holiday, he would always come. By hearing to her words, Sumu Yue felt a bit lost, she think. As for the daily routine, he must come and knock the door. The women in black suit think usually Muyue very annoyed by Yong Master Tong persistent pestering. But today, not hearing it, made her feel a bit uneasy, like something was missing. She says to Muyue that she was leaving now, and leaves the room.